Yesterday was a very challenging day. We walked 11 to 14 miles, depending on which device you want to think is accurate, or 7 miles according to the MST trail guides, which is clearly not right. And we didn't really have enough water, so when we finished camp this morning, that was the last of our water. And I said, okay, well, since we're just gonna go across to the end of this park, go across the road, and then we'll take a break and we'll get water. And there was a real tiny stream. Not really a good place to sit though. And I thought, well, clearly we're supposed to be walking along the water this whole time, and we had been up till that point. So we'll just go to the next water. Well, 3 miles in, there's still no water. And we happened to find the Mountain to Sea shelter that's on the Ward family property. And there was a trail angel that had left some bottles of water there. So we're so grateful for them. And so we had a couple bottles of water, sat down and rested for a few minutes. Now we're off the next mile to get to a water source to fill up with enough water for lunch today and dinner tonight and coffee and tea and everything we need for tomorrow in order to get all the way back to the water source to resupply again. And then we're going to spend the night at the Mountain to Sea shelter, which is absolutely amazing. So that's where we are. I found a visitor. He's probably about 2.5 foot long. Little black snake. Tonight we are staying at the Mountain to Sea shelter, and this place is just incredible. The picnic table where I just was, benches and a little table. We were saved by this through hiker water because we'd been out of water for pretty much all day. Trail angels had left some here. So there was 8 of them in there, and we took out 4 of them because we didn't want to take everything. And there's a nice fire pit over here, the picnic table, fire pit, and there's 7 shelters in here, primarily for tents. Getting attacked by a black fly. Wait a moment. So, tent pad number 1 is over there. Number 2 is here. Number 3. There is number 4. That one's a big one. And then 5, 6, and 7 are back there. And you come back around to the shelter. As I mentioned Mary before, she kind of one of the trail angels here for this section 9 and section 10. And kind of called her when we hit the construction and ended up in subdivision, and she was a really valuable resource for looking at stuff online. We realized that there was no clean water sources or anything today. We kind of called her. She'd been out kayaking all day, and she was going to come and bring us some water. which was so nice of her. And at the same time, we ran into another hiker named Daniel. Came from Las Vegas, and he was professor over at New Mexico State University before he retired. Really, really awesome guy. And just so happened that he had a bunch of water in his trunk and refused to take any money or anything from us and just gave us a whole 24 pack of water. And so we brought it back, and we used some of it, of course, but we replenished the water we took plus some back in the thru hiker water box for the next person that comes through here. So thanks so much to both Mary and Daniel for just being the trail magic when we needed it most. Sitting around the campfire, just relaxing. The winter Snicker Dinner that we talked about a couple days back kind of reached its shelf life, and all of the oil dissipated and soaked into the tortillas, and it made it really dry. So we had this ingenious idea, since they're wrapped in tinfoil, set them over the campfire, of course not when it was this high, and rotated it for about 10 minutes, and it turned into the tortilla being this really flaky crust, golden brown, and we'd use no-bake oatmeal cookies inside of these, so it was like a no-bake oatmeal cookie pie, and it was so delicious. We're going to do another one here in a little while, and I'll show you the unveiling as long as we don't burn it. Wish us luck. Last night we never made the second one, so I started the fire this morning, made another one, see how it toasts up, and that's melting, about to drip on my hand, really hot, but I wanted to show you how delicious it looks. So we woke up this morning and had a nice breakfast, some coffee, cleaned up camp, and debated on just hanging out at camp for the day and then walking the last mile out before we get picked up around 3:30. And then we both decided that there's no way that either one of us could just sit around and do nothing for 7 hours, because that's not really in our nature. So after putting everything back in the backpacks, we got back on the trail, and we're going to do another probably 6 miles total today. Just past a nice view of Falls Lake, and it's really hot and humid today, and a lot of this part of the trail seems to be out in open fields. Still a real pretty trail, but hot, humid, sweaty. I need a shower. Sis needs a shower. We need showers. We just decided to take a break. And so I was going to sit on one log over here, and Sis was going to sit on this log here, and we're really sweaty, and she's got the nylon spandex type of pants, which yoga pants, which are really slippery when they're wet. And so she sat down and just whoop, it went right over.
Did you turn around and just see
And
my
I
feet
turned
up in the
around,
air?
and all I can see is her feet up in the air, and she's laying down behind the stump. Oh,
In the prickers.
in the prickers, yeah. Good times.
Oh my god.
Break time. We just stopped to take a quick break. The edge of the lake. Train tracks way over there. Oh, so we have less than a mile left to go, and these last 3 miles have been
Brutal.
very brutal. Out of water. Got another hour and a half before we're gonna get picked up, but these mushrooms are so cool.
That's amazing.
They're like a waterfall if there was water running.
The fountain.
It's just very, very cool. Picks you up when you're about dead on your feet.